Hello again, lockpicking Paul here, and what I'm going to do tonight is this Silverline disc detainer padlock. It's French tensioning, it's not particularly hard, but what I'd like to do is gut it, because I have never gutted a disc detainer padlock before. I have taken one apart. Normally, these cheaper padlocks, you have to prise this ring out, and if you do that, all the guts will drop out and it will bypass the lock. When I did do that, it turned into a destructive attack. The disc carrier in that padlock was plastic, and it cracked in the process of opening it, so it was never going to go back together again. But some of these you can take apart, and if you've got a hole in the side here, and that's obscured by at the moment the shackle. But if you unlock the lock, it pulls out of the way. You can get an Allen key down there and pull out a grub screw, which secures this disc in place, I believe. I haven't actually taken this apart. I've never taken a disc detainer apart and got it back together again working. So that would be an entirely new thing for me. So that's what this is about. This is a bit of I'm going to teach myself how to take one of these things apart and put it back together again. Let's just turn a light on. Actually, I just realised the lighting's bad. So, let's get it picked. Now, one thing I am going to do differently is I'm not going to zero the discs. I've been getting into a bit of a habit of setting every disc, really just for my own enjoyment rather than any other reason. It's quicker to zero out the padlock, but in this case I'm not going to bother. And I'm going to use the RWB disc detainer pick, which is just joyous to use. I've already set it up for this lock, and but I did want to mention and give credit to the person that I learnt it from, which is Tequila Dave from the UK Locksport forum. Is if you are looking to set up your disc detainer on a disc detainer lock, then put your pick in the lock at whatever range you think is going to pick up just the first disc. Turn the detainer around, and what you'll see there is I have turned just the first disc. Now what that means is you can put the pick in the lock, and when it sits flush, you know that the nose is set to the right depth. Tighten everything up at that point, and then you've only got to worry, or you don't have to worry about the fact that you've tensioned more than the first disc. So, credit to Tequila Dave for that. Ever since I read that on the UK Locksport forum, I've been doing it. And it's made picking disc detainers, or setting up to pick a disc detainer, that much easier. So just going to unlock that, lock it back up again to make sure the discs are all in the position they are when the key comes out, and we'll just quickly pick this, and then we'll gut it. So it's a 7-disc lock, and by tensioning off the front disc, and it's a front tensioning lock, we now only have to pick 6 discs. So I'm just going to push down to the second disc and rotate that all the way round. Right. And that's now set. Now, one of the things I do is when I push through that disc, I'm just going to turn sort of 90 degrees and then push down. What that allows the pick tip to do is sit on the next disc. That way I know where the next disc is, so I can just then rotate and wait until it falls through the disc hole, which is there. And then I can set that disc as well. So that's set. That's the 4th disc. I think that's the 4th disc. If it is, it's a 0 cut. Come down to the next one. I'm not sure if I missed a disc, No. No tension in that disc there, so Back to the beginning because I have missed a disc. I'm certain of it. It's binding very tightly now. Yeah, that disc I'd missed. There you go. Not perfect, but not bad either. Got it open. I'd missed a disc out. Right, so let's pull this down and we can take all this apart. And I'm not sure what's going to ping out of here. Right, there's the grub screw. So, there you go. The grub screw just basically screws into in between that groove there. So there's everything on top. So, first thing out is that one. Look at that. The at the bottom. I'll zoom in. So at the bottom there, you can see the gate, and they're quite wide, the gates on this, and then that's the sidebar, which is sitting in the gate. So, and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the fact that it is it's a metal disc carrier, which is good. I'm telling you what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this upside down and drop it out. Go back. Ball bearings has come out with it. So that is the disc carrier and the pack of discs sitting on it. Just helps have this on film so I can remember how it all goes back together again. So that's disc 1. Disc 2, spacer I think, another disc, another spacer. I'm going to zoom out while I do this. And where's my tweezers? So as you can see from these, there are no false gates. There is literally in all these discs just one groove. Right, that's it, and then we got the sidebar. Oh, brass coloured, but it's magnetic, so it's a steel sidebar. And that's the carrier, not much going on there at all. So very, very simple lock. So a quick zoom in. So yeah, very, very straightforward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 discs That's not a disc, it's some kind of top plate. I think it's a spinner maybe. Oh, aren't you? It's got a gate in it. Not sure about that. But that is not a proper disc per se. Yeah, it's not a disc. It's obviously it's for top spec because it doesn't have a... That shows you how unfamiliar I am with the insides of a disc detainer. I should have realised that because it doesn't have the slot, it's not something you can tension or move. It's got to be the like a top guard or something. So very simple. Hopefully I'll be able to put this back together again and have it work. See what I'll do. Let's try and do that, shall we? This could all go horribly wrong. Let's try it. So put it back in reverse. I'm going to leave the hope that doesn't matter which way up that goes actually. Actually, I think it did. You know what? That went up the other way because I took them out of the way. I took them. Yeah, of course it matters. Better. Yeah, okay. I hope I'm doing a good job of being convincing about the fact that I've never taken one of these apart before. Oh, I see how it works. Right, okay, that makes sense. Got it, right. One of the things you don't see too often on YouTube is people actually reassembling what they've taken apart. I did often wonder about that when I first gutted locks. It's all very well getting it apart, but what if the springs went everywhere? It'd be good to see it going back together again and then working again. So far so good though. Flip that over. Nearly there. Now, that's quite interesting actually. I'll leave that top one off. That is, let's zoom in on that. So that's where the sidebar sits, and obviously as you can see, some of those discs aren't aligned. So the sidebar isn't going to sit flush in there. So let's just quick look in the lock. There is a channel. So in there, that's where the that groove at the top there is where the sidebar sits. But I want to put this back in an unlocked state, so I want to line everything up, I think. That way the sidebar will sit in there flush. Will that work? That's the question. Maybe, maybe not. Just pushing everything round so that the sidebar can just slot in here. Get that, see what that's like. Yeah, not so much. Nearly. We've got one that's out of alignment, that one at the top there. Have I done it? No, still got one out. That one, I think. Let's zoom back out again. I think it's this one here. No, it's that one there. Then the one next to it. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. we go. I think we've done it now. Let's try it. Yeah, okay. Sidebar is in and flush. Excellent. Nope, don't move that. I'm not sure how we're going to get this back in here yet. It's going to be a whole new thing. That sits on top there like that. So I've built a bit of a house of cards there. Let's reassemble the main body of the padlock and actually try and bring this camera up a little bit. There we go. So shackle goes in there, and I've got a hole inside for the first ball bearing. So we'll pop it in. There's a very healthy dollop of grease in here, which is pretty helpful. Holding everything in place. Let's put the other ball bearing back in and scooch that into its hole, and hopefully the grease will hold it. Yeah, appears to have done. Then the disc carrier. I'm not sure that's helpful. Maybe. Right, so let's move some stuff around. Right, that appears to be good. That doesn't appear to be in the right way around. It'd be helpful if the disc carrier actually went all the way up, but it doesn't, so I'm going to have to balance some stuff on top there. Okay, that is not fitting in. Why is that? Maybe that ball bearing is in the way and that's causing me a problem. Right, try that again. Take that top plate out. I'll take that one out. And then we'll drop the main pack. I've just noticed something in the back of the lock which I didn't spot before. So we'll go back and have a look at that in a second, once I've got these discs in here. Nope, that's upside down. Right, that's better. Yeah, what's that in the back of a lock? It's like a lug right at the back. If you can see it. I have to put my... It's like a metal spacer. It doesn't appear to be loose. Appears to be a stop of some kind to stop the lock turning, I guess. Right, okay, that's what that is. That's to stop the cam turning too far. Right, try again. I don't think that ball bearing goes too far like that, so I think That was sitting on top of that stop. Yeah, it's still not. Oh, right. I think I know what I've done. Let's pick that up. Turn this around. There you go. Effectively, that's in the open position now. Is that still not gone in enough? I am missing something obvious here. Sure, someone at home is looking at this thinking, and shouting at the screen right now saying, "You're doing it wrong." But, you know, that's what learning is about. Ah, well, that's why that's not working, because the lock was sitting on top of the ball bearings. Right. Ah, better. Just trying to get the ball bearings back into their holes. They are now back in. Carrier's in the right position. That looks a bit more healthy. Nope, still not there. Bloody hell. Why is this so difficult? Right, everything's clear in there. This should just drop straight in to the right depth. Ah! Bingo. Which is why, if you take a good look at something, you can make it work. Right, okay. And we can put these bits back on. Top plate is steel as well. Well, that has taken way longer than I would have liked, but it might have been useful to someone if you've never taken one of these things apart before. Right, let's put the grub screw back in. What I was doing wrong, I was putting the disc carrier back in the wrong orientation. Tighten that up. Moment of truth, I suppose. I'll tell you what I am going to do. Pull that turn. Pull that turn. Locked and unlocked. Oh, bingo. It actually worked. I am amazed by that, considering how fiddly that was. Right, so there you go. Taking a lock apart for the very first time, I have learned something new. Hopefully that was of interest and use to someone. Anyway, that's it. First disc detainer gutted, reassembled and working. Good luck with one whenever you try to do it. Cheers. Enjoy your picking.